Last night, I watched my father betray my mother. Or at least, that's what I thought. But what happened 15 minutes later completely changed how I see love, marriage, and truth. My name is Ariana Blake. I'm 29. And last night, something happened that I still can't fully process. It started as a simple plan. Just dinner. Nothing fancy, just a break from life. My husband and I hadn't spent real time together in weeks. Work, stress, responsibilities, everything had taken over. We were living together, but not really living. So I said, let's go out tonight. Just us. No phones. No work. He looked surprised. Then he smiled. A real dinner, he asked. I nodded. A real one. And honestly, that smile alone made it worth it. We got ready and went to one of those quiet, romantic restaurants. Soft lights, candlelit tables, slow music in the background. The kind of place where people sit close, talk softly, hold hands. It felt peaceful, almost like time slowed down. We were seated in a corner. A quiet little spot, perfect for just the two of us. For the first time in weeks, we actually talked. Not about work, not about problems, just us. Remember our first year after marriage, he said. I laughed. You mean when we used to fight over the smallest things? And still couldn't stay mad for more than 10 minutes, he smiled. We kept talking. Old memories, random moments, things that used to matter so much. Then, he reached across the table and held my hand. And that small gesture hit me deeper than I expected, because it reminded me of something. Someone. My parents. They were always like that. Even after decades of marriage, they still acted like newlyweds. Laughing together, sitting close, holding hands. They used to say, love doesn't fade, people just stop taking care of it. And we believed them. Because we saw it every day. That's why what happened next felt impossible. I casually looked around the restaurant, just observing people. And then, my eyes stopped. At first, it was nothing. Just another table. But something felt familiar. So I looked again. More carefully this time. And suddenly, my entire body froze. My heart skipped. Because sitting there, at a candlelight table, was my father. With another woman. I couldn't breathe. He was smiling. Leaning in. Talking softly. And then, he held her hand. Like it meant everything. My fingers went cold. No, I whispered. My husband noticed instantly. What happened? He asked. I couldn't speak. I just pointed. He looked. And his face changed. We both sat there, in complete silence. Trying to understand. But nothing made sense. This wasn't just shocking. It was wrong. Because my father would never do this. He loved my mother more than anything. We had seen it our whole lives. And now this? Right in front of me? My heart started racing. I need to record this, I whispered. My hands were shaking as I pulled out my phone. Are you sure? My husband asked softly. I have to, I said. Even I don't believe what I'm seeing. I started recording. Every second felt unreal. My father smiling, talking, holding her hand. It felt like I was watching someone else's life, not mine. After a few moments, I stopped. My hands were trembling as I stared at the video. And without thinking, I sent it to my mother. Mom, you need to see this. The moment I hit send, I knew there was no going back. We sat there in silence, waiting. Every second felt heavier than the last. I kept checking my phone. No reply. What if she doesn't come? My husband whispered. I didn't answer, because deep down, I knew she would. Minutes passed. The tension in the air, unbearable. And then, the restaurant door opened. I looked up, and my breath stopped. It was her, my mother. She stood at the entrance, scanning the room, until her eyes found him. And in that moment, I knew nothing would ever be the same again. She didn't rush. She didn't scream. She just stood there, watching him. Her eyes locked on my father, cold, unblinking. Then slowly, she started walking toward his table. Each step felt heavy, deliberate. The sound of her heels against the floor echoed through the silence. louder than anything else. My heartbeat matched every step she took. And my father? He had no idea. He was still smiling, still talking, still holding that woman's hand. And then, he looked up. The moment his eyes met hers, everything changed. His smile disappeared. Instantly, his hand slowly pulled away. The woman sitting across from him looked confused. She turned and saw my mother. And just like that, the entire table fell into silence. My mother stopped right in front of them. For a second, no one spoke. Then in a low, controlled voice, she said, "So, this is where you've been." Her voice wasn't loud, but it carried something sharp, something heavy. My father opened his mouth, but nothing came out. "I've been watching you," she continued, her eyes never leaving his face. For weeks. Around them, the restaurant started to quiet down. People noticed. They were watching. "You've been distant," she said slowly. "Quiet, always busy." She took a step closer. "Always on your phone, smiling at something that was never me." My chest tightened. My father just stood there, silent. "When I come home," she continued, "you don't even look at me anymore." Her voice started to shake. "I thought maybe you were tired, maybe stressed." She let out a small, broken laugh. "But now I understand." Her eyes shifted toward the woman. "Now I can see it." The woman looked uncomfortable, adjusting in her seat, unsure what to do. "I gave you everything," my mother said. Her voice broke. "My time, my love, my life." Tears filled her eyes. "I trusted you." The words hung in the air, heavy. The entire restaurant had gone completely silent. Even the waiters had stopped moving. "And this," she whispered. "This is what I get?" A tear rolled down her cheek. "If you want her," she said, pausing, trying to hold herself together. "Then fine. You don't have to hide it anymore." She stepped back. "I'll leave." For a moment, it felt like the world stopped. Even I forgot to breathe. Everything she said felt real. Too real. And the worst part? My father still hadn't said a word. Then suddenly, he moved. Slowly, he stood up. The chair scraped against the floor, breaking the silence. All eyes were on him. He looked at my mother. Not angry, not guilty, just calm. And somehow, that calmness felt even more intense. He took a step toward her. "The woman sitting here," he began. Then paused. "Is my best friend's wife." For a second, no one reacted. It was like the words didn't register. My mother blinked. Confused. "What?" she whispered. And right then, a man walked up behind them. Before anyone could process anything, he stepped forward and gently held the same woman's hand. "She's my wife," he said calmly. The entire table froze. And just like that, everything shifted. Whispers started spreading across the restaurant. I felt my mind spinning. What was happening? My mother stood there, her anger fading, replaced by confusion. My father looked at her again. "You said you gave me everything," he said quietly. "Your time, your love, your life." He shook his head slowly. "Say that again." My mother didn't respond, because something inside her had started to change. I could see it. The anger, the certainty, was slipping away, and in its place was doubt, and something heavier, guilt. My father stepped closer. "I haven't had even 1 hour of your time in months." His voice wasn't loud, but it hit harder than anything else. The entire restaurant stayed silent, because now, this wasn't about cheating anymore. This was something deeper, something no one expected. The silence in the restaurant felt different now. Not tense, heavy. My mother stood there, frozen. The anger that once filled her eyes was now gone, replaced by something much harder to face. Truth. My father looked at her quietly. "I asked you so many times," he said softly. "Let's go out, let's sit together, let's just talk." He paused. "But every time, you said you were busy." That word echoed. Busy. "My work, my meetings, my business," he continued. My mother slowly lowered her gaze. "I understood at first," he said. "I told myself it's okay." A pause. But days turned into weeks. And weeks turned into months. His voice never rose. And maybe that's what made it hurt more. I started feeling like I didn't exist in your life anymore. That line hit hard. Even I felt it. I would sit next to you, he continued, and you'd still be somewhere else. My mother's lips trembled. I thought maybe if I changed, he said. So I started pretending. That caught everyone's attention. I acted distant, busy, smiling at my phone. A small, painful smile appeared on his face. I thought, maybe you'd notice. My mother closed her eyes. But you didn't. Silence. I even ignored you sometimes, he admitted quietly. And it broke me, because I still love you. That was the first crack in his voice. My mother broke. Tears fell, one after another. I didn't know what else to do, he said. He looked around briefly, then back at her. So, I made a plan. My heart skipped. I knew she would come tonight, he said, glancing toward me. My mother's eyes widened as she looked at me. I didn't tell her everything, he added. I just made sure she would see this. Realization hit her like a wave. This was planned, she whispered. Yes. Simple, but powerful. I wanted you to feel it, he said. To feel what it's like. To be ignored. To feel replaced. To feel like you don't matter anymore. Each word landed slowly, deeply. My mother's shoulders dropped. Everything in her broke. I didn't realize, she whispered, her voice filled with regret. I thought I was doing everything for us. Tears streamed down her face. I thought if I worked harder, if I gave more time to business, our life would get better. My father gently shook his head. But we were losing us. That sentence changed everything. For a moment, no one spoke. Then slowly, my mother stepped forward, her hands trembling. I'm sorry, she said, her voice completely broken. I didn't see it. I didn't see you. She started crying openly now. I didn't know you felt this way. My father looked at her for a few seconds, silent. Then slowly, his expression softened. I never wanted to hurt you, he said. And I still don't. A pause. I just wanted my wife back. That line broke something in everyone. Even I couldn't hold back my tears. The restaurant was still silent. But now, it wasn't uncomfortable. It was emotional. Real. My mother stepped closer again. And this time, she didn't stop. She held his hand. Tightly. I'm here, she whispered. I'm not going anywhere. My father looked at her hand. Then at her. And slowly, he held it back. That small moment felt bigger than everything else. The pain, the distance, the misunderstanding. All of it. Finally breaking. People around them slowly looked away. Because this moment wasn't for them anymore. It was personal. I sat there quietly, watching everything. My heart felt heavy, but also relieved. Because this story didn't end the way I feared. It didn't destroy a family. It saved one. Sometimes love doesn't end. It just gets buried under silence, distance, and I'm busy. And sometimes it takes almost losing everything to realize what truly matters. Honestly, if I were in that situation, I don't know if I would have had the courage to face the truth like they did. But one thing is clear. Ignoring someone you love can hurt just as much as betraying them. What do you think? Was the father right to plan all this? Or did he go too far?